Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is how to break the worry habit. And the first reading from Wayne Dyer's lovely little everyday wisdom book. There's nothing to worry about, ever. Either you have control or you don't. If you do, take control. If you don't, dismiss it. Don't waste your energy on worry. And the second, actually, and last reading I'm going to do today is from this wonderful book, Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. And this chapter is called How to Break the Worry Habit. You do not need to be a victim of worry. Reduced to its simplest form, what is worry? It is simply an unhealthy and destructive mental habit. You were not born with the worry habit. You acquired it. And because you can change any habit and any acquired attitude, you can cast worry from your mind. Since aggressive, direct action is essential in the elimination process, there is just one proper time to begin an effective attack on worry, and that is now. So let us start breaking your worry habit at once. Why should we take the worry problem this seriously? The reason is clearly stated by Dr. Smiley Blanton, eminent psychiatrist. He said, "Anxiety is the great modern plague." A famous psychologist asserts that, quote, "Fear is the most disintegrating enemy of human personality." And a prominent physician declares that physicians tell us that thousands of people are ill because of dammed up anxiety. These sufferers have been unable to expel their anxieties, which have turned inward on the personality, causing many forms of ill health. The destructive quality of worry is indicated by the fact that the word itself is derived from an old Anglo-Saxon word meaning to choke. If someone were to put his fingers around your throat and press hard, cutting off the flow of vital power, it would be a dramatic demonstration of what you do to yourself by long-held and habitual worry. We are told that worry is not infrequently a factor in arthritis. Physicians who have analyzed the causes of this prevalent disease assert that the following factors, at least some of them, are nearly always present in arthritic cases: financial disaster, frustration, tension, apprehension, loneliness, grief, long-held ill will, and habitual worry. A clinic staff is said to have made a study of 166 American executives of the average age of 44 years old and discovered that 1/2 had high blood pressure, heart disease, or ulcers. It was notable in every case of those afflicted that worry was a prominent factor. The worrier, so it seems, is not likely to live as long as the person who learns to overcome his worries. The Rotarian magazine carried an article entitled, "How Long Can You Live?" The author says that the waistline is the measure of your lifeline. The article also declares that if you want to live long, observe the following rules. 1, keep calm. 2, go to church. 3, eliminate worry. A survey shows that church members live longer than non-church members. Better join the church if you don't want to die young. Married people, according to the article, live longer than single people. Perhaps this is because A married couple can divide the worry. When you are single, you have to do it all alone. A scientific expert on length of life made a study of some 450 people who lived to be 100 years of age. He found that these people lived long and contented lives for the following reasons. 1, they kept busy. 2, they used moderation in all things. 3, they ate lightly and simply. 4, they got a great deal of fun out of life. 5, they were early to bed and up early. 6, they were free from worry and fear, especially fear of death. And 7, they had serene minds and faith in God. Haven't you often heard a person say, "I am almost sick with worry," and then add with a laugh, "But I guess worry never really makes you ill." But that is where he is wrong. Worry can make you ill. Dr. George W. Crile, famous American surgeon, said, "We fear not only in our minds, but in our hearts, brains, and viscera, that whatever the cause of fear and worry, the effect can always be noted in the cells, tissues, and organs of the body." Dr. Stanley Cobb, neurologist, says that worry is ultimately connected with the symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis. A doctor recently stated that there is an epidemic of fear and worry in this country. All doctors, he declared, are having cases of illness which are brought on directly by fear and aggravated by worry and a feeling of insecurity. But do not be discouraged, for you can overcome your worries. There is a remedy that will bring you sure relief. It can help you break the worry habit. And the first step to take in breaking it is simply to believe that you can. Whatever you believe, you can do, with God's help. Here, then, is a practical procedure which will help to eliminate abnormal fear from your experience. Practice emptying the mind daily. This should be done preferably before retiring at night to avoid the retention by the consciousness of worries while you sleep. During sleep, thoughts tend to sink more deeply into the subconsciousness. The last 5 minutes before going to sleep are of extraordinary importance, for in that brief period, the mind is most receptive to suggestion. It tends to absorb the last ideas that are entertained in waking consciousness. This process of mind drainage is important in overcoming worry, for fear thoughts, unless drained off, can clog the mind and impede the flow of mental and spiritual power. But such thoughts can be emptied from the mind and will not accumulate if they are not eliminated daily. To drain them, utilize a process of creative imagination. Conceive of yourself as actually emptying your mind of all anxiety and fear. Picture all worry thoughts as flowing out, as you would let water flow from a basin by removing the stopper. Repeat the following affirmation during this visualization. With God's help, I am now emptying my mind of all anxiety, all fear, all sense of insecurity. Repeat this slowly 5 times. Then add, I believe that my mind is now emptied of all anxiety, all fear, all sense of insecurity. Repeat that statement 5 times, meanwhile holding a mental picture of your mind as being emptied of these concepts. Then thank God for thus freeing you from fear, and then go to sleep. In starting the curative process, the foregoing method should be utilized in mid-morning and mid-afternoon as well as at bedtime. Go into some quiet place for 5 minutes for this purpose. Faithfully perform this process, and you will soon note beneficial results. The procedure may be further strengthened by imaginatively thinking of yourself as reaching into your mind and one by one removing your worries. A small child possesses an imaginative skill superior to that of adults. A child responds to the game of kissing away a hurt or throwing away a fear. This simple process works for the child because in his mind he believes that that is actually the end of it. The dramatic act is a fact for him, and so it proves to be the end of the matter. Visualize your fears as being drained out of your mind, and the visualization will, in due course, be actualized. Imagination is a source of fear, but imagination may also be the cure of fear. Imagineering. So it's spelled the imagine and then earring. So is the use of mental images to build factual results. And it is an astonishingly effective procedure. Imagination is not simply the use of fancy. The word imagination derives from the idea of imagining. That is to say, you form an image either of fear or of release from fear. What you image, brackets imagine, may ultimately become a fact if held mentally with sufficient faith. Therefore, hold an image of yourself as delivered from worry, and the drainage process will, in time, eliminate abnormal fear from your thoughts. However, it is not enough to empty the mind, for the mind will not long remain empty. It must be occupied by something. It cannot continue in a state of vacuum. Therefore, upon emptying the mind, practice refilling it. Fill it with thoughts of faith, hope, courage, expectancy. Say aloud such affirmations as the following: God is now filling my mind with courage, with peace, with calm assurance. God is now protecting me from all harm. God is now protecting my loved ones from all harm. God is now guiding me to right decisions. God will see me through this situation. 6 times each day, crowd your mind with such thoughts as these until the mind is overflowing with them. In due course, these thoughts of faith will crowd out worry. Fear is the most powerful of all thoughts, with one exception, and that one exception is faith. Faith can always overcome fear. Day by day, as you fill your mind with faith, there will ultimately be no room left for fear. This is the one great fact that no one should forget. Master faith, and you will automatically master fear. So the process is: empty the mind and cauterize it with God's grace. Then practice filling your mind with faith, and you will break the worry habit. Fill your mind with faith, and in due course, the accumulation of faith will crowd out fear. It will not be of much value merely to read this suggestion unless you practice it. And the time to begin practicing it is now, while you think of it, and while you are convinced that the number one procedure in breaking the worry habit is to drain the mind daily of fear and fill the mind daily with faith. It is just as simple as that. Learn to be a practicer of faith until you become an expert in faith. Then fear cannot live in you. Sorry, it might have been a little bit long, but there is so much impact in that reading. There's so many of us living in fear these days with all the media and all the stuff that's thrown at us, and then we worry, and it's really bad for our health and for us in every way. So I'm hoping that you take to heart what he said and maybe do some of it and get the fear out of your life and the worry out of your life and enjoy your life as I believe God meant you to do. So I'm sending you my love. Until next Monday. Bye for now.